In setting out what he described as a new approach to the 16-year campaign, Trump had harsh words for U.S. ally Pakistan, saying Washington could no longer be silent about Pakistan's safe havens for terrorist organizations. "We have been paying Pakistan billions and billions of dollars. At the same time, they are housing the very terrorists we are fighting. That must change immediately," Trump added. He also called on Pakistan's regional rival India to help us more with Afghanistan, especially in the area of economic assistance and development. "We appreciate India's important contributions to stability in Afghanistan, but India makes billions of dollars in trade from the United States and we want them to help us more with Afghanistan, especially in the area of economic assistance and development." In response to Trump's pledge, the Taliban issued a defiant statement, saying the U.S. should have thought about withdrawing its troops from Afghanistan instead of prolonging the war. "It looks like the U.S. still doesn't want to put an end to its longest war." Instead of understanding the facts and realities, Trump still shows pride for his power and military forces, the statement said, vowing Taliban forces would keep fighting to free Afghanistan of American invaders. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani welcomed Trump's statement and his affirmation of support for our efforts to achieve self-reliance and for our joint struggle to rid the region from the threat of terrorism. "The U.S.-Afghan partnership is stronger than ever in overcoming the threat of terrorism that threatens us all," Ghani said in a statement Tuesday, adding the objective of peace is paramount. In July, Secretary of Defense James Mattis informed Congress the U.S. was withholding $50 million in funding from Pakistan because he was unable to certify that Islamabad has taken sufficient action against the Haqqani network, a branch of the Afghan Taliban. U.S. officials believe that much of the Haqqani leadership is based in Pakistan, and some analysts believe eliminating their safe havens is critical to stabilizing Afghanistan. Trump seemed to reference this in his speech Monday, saying that Pakistan has much to gain from partnering with our effort in Afghanistan, and much to lose from harboring criminals and terrorists. Pakistan was designated a major U.S. non-NATO ally by President George W. Bush in 2004, in recognition for Islamabad's contributions to the anti-Al-Qaeda fight, but relations between Washington and Islamabad have long been strained over Afghanistan. Pakistan has ironclad immutable strategic interests which dictate maintaining ties to groups like the Taliban, said Michael Kugelman, Deputy Director and Senior Associate for South Asia with the Asia Program at the Woodrow Wilson Center. It sees them as useful tools to keep Pakistan's enemy, India, at bay in Afghanistan. Taking a tough line on Pakistan is not a new idea, said Lahore-based defense analyst Hussain Askari Rizvi. Trump just appears to be more categorical and clearer than previous administrations. The future of Afghanistan is inextricably linked to the future of its neighbor, Pakistan, Obama said, calling on Islamabad to demonstrate its commitment to rooting out Al-Qaeda and the violent extremists within its borders. 8 years later, however, little has changed. A report earlier this year by the conservative Hudson Institute found Pakistan never changed its policy of supporting certain militant groups that fight Afghan and coalition forces, thus making it impossible for the United States to achieve its objective of keeping Afghanistan from reverting to a safe haven for international terrorism. Al-Qaeda leader and 9/11 attack planner Osama bin Laden was hiding out in Pakistan when he was assassinated by U.S. soldiers in May 2011. The White House did not inform Islamabad about the raid until it was over, embarrassing the country's military and raising questions over the two nations' security relationship. Trump repeatedly mentioned the 9/11 attack as the reason for U.S. action in Afghanistan during his speech. However, what the president will do to ensure Pakistan does change its behavior is unclear, said Kugelman. Tactics could include cutting aid and curtailing military assistance to Islamabad, he added. A review of whether Pakistan should be considered a state sponsor of terrorism, a draconian measure, should not be ruled out if conditions don't improve, Brookings Institution Pakistan analyst Bruce Riedel said in February. Concerns in Islamabad will be heightened not only by Trump's criticism of Pakistan, but also his reaching out to India. In June, Trump called India a true friend following a meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and said relations between the two countries have never been stronger, never been better. But Trump seemed to indicate that friendship would not be without conditions Monday. India makes billions of dollars in trade fro.